Hello dear students, today let us prove Bessel's inequality, which states that if we are taking any orthonormal system, collection EI equal to 1 to infinity, which is a subset of capital H, and for every x belongs to capital H, we have sigma I greater than or equal to 1, which means I equal to 1 to infinity modulus of inner product x ei the whole square is less than or equal to norm x square, and this is known as Bessel's inequality. Orthonormal system EI means inner product of EI comma EJ is equal to delta ij, that is either this inner product is 0 or 1. If I equal to j, then the inner product is 1, otherwise it is 0, that is norm ei is 1. Now for the proof, we are considering a function yn as sigma 1 to n inner product of x ei. Now by Short's inequality, we can write modulus of inner product yn comma x is less than or equal to norm x into norm yn. Let us mark it as equation 1. We need this equation later. Again, inner product of yn x can be written as inner product of this yn can be replaced by its sum. Sigma 1 to n inner product x ei. By the property of inner product, this inner product can be expanded of the form, that is first argument will be inner product x e1 into e1 plus inner product of x e2 into e2 plus etc. inner product of x en comma x. So this can be written as, we know that inner product of x plus y comma z can be written as inner product of xz plus inner product of yz. Therefore, this inner product can be written as inner product x e1 comma x plus etc. inner product x en comma x. This inner product x e1 etc. inner product x en are scalars in the first argument's position and can be taken outside. That is inner product of x e1 into inner product of e1x plus etc. inner product of x en into inner product of enx. Also we know that inner product of xy is equal to inner product of yx conjugate. That is, this inner product of e1x can be written as inner product of x e1 bar. Similarly, inner product of x enx, inner product of enx can be written as inner product of x en. Now our summation is of the form inner product of x e1 into inner product of x e1 bar etc. inner product of x en inner product of x en bar. This is of the form z bar. We know that z bar, if z is a complex number, is modulus of z square. Hence this is equal to modulus of inner product of x e1 square plus etc. plus modulus of x en the whole square, which is nothing but sigma I equal to 1 to n modulus of inner product x ei the whole square. So now we started with inner product of ynx and we got that it is equal to sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product x ei the whole square. Let us mark it as equation 2. Also, norm yn square is equal to inner product of yn. So by substituting yn, the summation for yn, we will get sigma 1 to n inner product of x ei comma inner product sigma 1 to n inner product of x ei. So there are scalars of the form x ei in the first argument's position, also in the second argument's position, and the first argument is also a finite sum, second argument is also a finite sum. Hence, by the property of inner product, this scalars, that is inner product of x ei from first argument will come as inner product of x ei, and inner product of x ei from the second argument's position will come as inner product of x ei bar. Since we know that x comma a y, inner product of x comma a y is equal to a conjugate inner product of x y. Also inner product of ax comma y, whereas the scalar can be written as a into inner product of xy. Also by the property of inner product we can write like this. Therefore sigma inner product of xei into inner product of xei bar into inner product of ei. Since this inner product of ei is equal to 1, we can write as inner product of sigma 1 to an inner product of xei into inner product of xei bar of the form zz bar, that is modulus of z square. That is norm yn square is equal to sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product xei the whole square. Therefore norm yn is equal to sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product xei square whole raised to 1 by 2. So we have equation 1 of the form modulus of inner product yn x is less than or equal to norm x n in norm yn. Now we are going to substitute this equation 2 and equation 3 in equation 1. So we will get sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product xei the whole square is less than or equal to norm x into norm yn. That is norm yn can be replaced by this equation 3. So this is implies sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product xei the whole square is less than or equal to norm x whole square for the finite set collection ei 1 to n. If you are taking the infinite system collection I greater than or equal to 1, then we will get the required result. So let us check how can we find this term, that is sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product xei the whole square whole raised to 1 by t is less than or equal to norm x. For that, modulus of inner product xei is less than or equal to norm x into norm ei by Short's inequality. Hence, modulus of inner product xei the whole square is less than or equal to norm x square into norm ei square, with norm ei is equal to 1. Hence, sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product xei the whole square is less than or equal to 1 to n norm x square, which is equal to n norm x square. Hence, this term, that is we require this term 1 to n sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product xei whole square whole raised to 1 by 2 is less than or equal to norm x square. Okay, so this is the corollary. For any x belongs to capital H and any orthonormal system collection ei1 to infinity, the x stay y such that y is equal to sigma I equal to 1 to infinity inner product of xei into ei. For this proof, we are again taking yn as the term, the summation 1 to n sigma 1 to n inner product of xei ei, and as we proved in above theorem, we can show that norm yn is equal to sigma 1 to n modulus of inner product xei whole square whole raised to 1 by 2, and this term converges to sigma 1 to infinity modulus of x inner product xei square whole raised to 1 by 2 as n tends to infinity, which is equal to sigma 1 to infinity inner product of xei ei by corollary 2.1.3, and this is our required norm y. Okay, that is yn converges to y as n tends to infinity. Hence we can see that there exists a y such that sigma equal to 1 to infinity xei into ei.